Hello, wealthy, successful, money-making traders. This is your trader's friend. Thank you for joining me today for another video. Guys, I'm so glad you're here with me, and I'm working on it. The last video I made, I've actually been tempted to make that video about 3 weeks, but you know we don't always have a swinging market. So I'm working on it. But this morning I was talking to a girlfriend and we were talking about racquetball. And she was telling me about an opponent that she had. And they were playing racquetball and this guy actually beat her. But she was so much into his head that even though he beat her, he was still really upset at the end of the game. Even though he really did beat her. And that's the way we are in the market a lot of times. And that's where the idea for this video came from. I'm also making a blog to go with this as well, so please read the blog as well. But that's what happens to us. Even when we're winning, they're still messing with our heads. Now, there are times in the market where the market just makes no sense. You just have this kind of choppy up and down. And it makes you tempted to abandon a good strategy because no matter what you do, you can't seem to find the advantage. And that's the psychological warfare of the market. And that's what makes trading hard. Trading is not hard. It's the psychological warfare that presents the challenge. Trading is easy. And by the time the market has put you through this mental blender where you're just being stopped out and stopped out and stopped out, and you finally get to the point where you feel like you have the advantage, you find out again that you have absolutely nothing. And you just have times like this where the market just does not show you a clear advantage, where you have all of these tricks and all of these things, and you don't know which way to turn. The market has spun you so hard. You find these times a lot of times before a large economic report. Sometimes you just have doji days. Sometimes you'll have days like this or sessions like this, and it's really, really hard. But this is the thing that happens. After you've been spun in the blender so hard, you will get markets that trend for you. Now let's take a look at some trends on this Euro USD. Now this is actually today's price action, and you can see how it just bled down beautifully in this market. But let's take a look at this. You can see how it is that we were in this little trading range for a while. We were just here, and you can see how we got this trick before the market actually went the other way. And this is the thing that I want to say to you. When the market is choppy and it's making no sense, and you're doing the best that you can, and you're still being stopped out, continue to trade a good plan with consistent discipline, because you have times like this where the market shoots up, and because it's been range bound, a lot of times traders are tempted to hold this when the market goes against them. And that's where this comes in. Trade what you see, not what's in your head. You have to trade a good plan with consistent discipline. I'm saying this, but it's not easy to do. But it's necessary if you are going to be successful in the market. Now let's take a look at yesterday's price action as well. Now I actually got you guys on a cleaner chart. You can see where I put some additional sell limits yesterday, because this is where I initially had all of my sales yesterday. And when they got in profit, I re-put them back up there, hoping that the market would come back and hit them again. Actually, they're still there, as you can see. But yesterday we had, and yeah, let's do this on today's price action as well. You can see that once you got into a good trade today, you had all of these trick candles, and these are actually legitimate flagship reversal candles. These are real hammers. So you get here and you got to a place of previous support, and you have all of these things. And this is where your mind is telling you all this stuff. Oh, it's going to be the next hour, and you know they're going to have pullback on the next hour. You better take your money off. Or You know, the market's been choppy all week. Chances are it's going to go against you the other way. You better take your money off. Oh, you see that you just had this $200. Now it's $20. And yeah, you're going to lose your money. You're going to lose your money. And all of these things, from being in that psychological blender, they start playing back to you over and over. You end up getting out of the trade, and look at all the money that you miss. Let's take a look at this yesterday as well. I'm sorry, I have to go back one more time and say, these times like this, when you're range bound, and this was the trick before you got, well, let's see, trick, trap, and kill. So the trick, trap, and you can see the kill. So please do not hold on to bad trades, because you never know which trade is going to eat your lunch. Enough about that. Let's take a look at yesterday's price action. Yesterday's price action for me was really frustrating, because I got in on what was a good trade, but look at all of these trick candles. Look at that strong rejection here, and we just kind of stayed in this frustrating range for a while before price fell down. We got here, these other tricks, and I want to say something to you that I say to myself personally, and that is, the trend is stronger than the candle. Please keep that in mind and remember that. Usually your trend is stronger than your flagship candle, and a lot of times it's stronger than a candlestick pattern, because here you see you have a legitimate pattern here, but price continues to fall down. And these are the times of being in that psychological blender that I'm talking about, that makes it hard for you to ride a winning trade like we had today, because you do have trending markets that just kind of get on these plateaus. They come, they rest, plateau, and they may even stop you out before you have to get back into the market. And it's hard for you, and it's frustrating. On days like that, on any day that you trade, you must trade a good plan with consistent discipline, because they are in your head. They put you through the psychological blenders and the psychological warfare so that they can be in your head and make you tempted to hold when they have put you in the trick, the trap, and kill. So you already know trick, trap, and kill. That's it. So when you're in these kind of choppy times like this, because you're spending so hard and you've lost so much, or you've lost so often, you're tempted to hold bad trades, and that's what they want. Or you don't ride your good trades fully. You must trade a good plan with consistent discipline. I know I keep repeating that, but it is necessary if you are going to be successful in Forex to trade a good plan with consistent discipline. And I just want to remind you that you can absolutely do this. You can be successful at Forex. Have a terrific pip-filled trading week.